The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier, the team captains picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York.
Oh, how sweet justice tastes. The WNBA All-Star Game just turned into must-see TV. And make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is done playing nice. While the rest of the league was busy obsessing over draft boards and depth charts, Clark executed the ultimate power play. She didn't just shake up the game. She ousted Cheryl Reeve from her coaching spot with ruthless precision. And the way she did it, pure showtime.
Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She just picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them. She made sure there were no ops on her team. If she's played with a player before, like Sonia Citron, she picked her. Gabby Williams, she picked nobody that's tweeted a negative thing about her. She's picked nobody that has said a negative thing about her in the media. She picked none of her right.
This wasn't just any ordinary move. This was Caitlin Clark drawing a line in the sand. A statement, loud and clear. I'm done with your energy, Cheryl. I'm writing my own story now. After all the shade Reeve threw her way, the Olympic snub, the thinly veiled tweets, the constant undercutting, Clark finally had her moment. And she used it to make one thing crystal clear. She's not here to play for someone who never believed in her.
The first time I've ever seen this, man. The first time out of all the times I've seen where two star players are picking up players. They ask for a trade, or the median person asks for a trade, and they're talking about trading the coach.
Let's not kid ourselves. This trade was personal. Caitlin Clark knew exactly what she was doing. Live on ESPN, eyes locked on Napheesa Collier, she dropped the bomb. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. We already decided, we're trading coaches. That wasn't just confidence. That was unbothered, unfiltered, boss-level energy. And for Clark fans, that moment was everything they've been waiting for. A flex years in the making.
Here, Caitlin, you said you might be aggressive on the trade market once this opened up. Is there any player that you're looking to get to? And remember, it has to be apples to apples trade here. Starter for starter, reserve for reserve. The good news is you can't go wrong with this type of talent. Anyone looking to make a deal here?
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello.
Cheryl Reeve thought she could coast into the All-Star game, probably assuming Caitlin Clark would play nice, smile for the cameras, and pretend like nothing ever happened. Big mistake. Clark doesn't forget, and she sure as hell doesn't forgive. Especially not a coach who spent more time trying to tear down the league's brightest star than uplift her. This wasn't just a trade. It was a reckoning.
Was supposed to be coached by Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. Napheesa Collier was supposed to be coached by New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. They swapped coaches. Cheryl Reeve, dodged the bullet. Thank God I don't need to coach Caitlin Clark, man. Man, I can't deal with that. I would have had to swallow so much pride, I can't do that. Fee, she probably called him the Fee, talk to Caitlin, please. I can't coach her, I can't do it. This book's about to come out. You know what they're going to be saying if I'm coaching Caitlin Clark and the book's out? Oh, God. Fee, please.
The history between these two, pure toxicity. And Caitlin Clark finally snapped. Let's not forget, while Clark was rewriting the record books, Cheryl Reeve was busy firing off tweets like 12 teams, #Thew is more than one player, a not-so-subtle jab at the league's biggest star. Or how about when she suddenly had no comment on Clark's Olympic snub, despite being the actual Team USA coach? Reeve spent months playing the role of Clark's biggest critic, downplaying her accomplishments at every turn. always shifting the spotlight away from a generational talent reshaping the league.
Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the league, not to mention being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from.
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe, because we're just getting started. Here's the thing about champions. They remember every slight, every backhanded compliment, every time someone tried to make them feel small. Caitlin Clark remembered all of it. And when she finally had the power to act, she didn't flinch. The trade was ice cold and precise. Reeve out, Sandy Brondello in. A massive upgrade. Brondello, the coach who just led the Liberty to back-to-back finals appearances, replacing the one who spent her time subtweeting Clark from the shadows. And Brondello's reaction? Perfect. Her teenage son texted her, "Mom, you got traded." She laughed and rolled with it. That's the kind of energy Clark is building around her. No ego, no drama, no bitterness. Just winners. Just basketball. Just people who know how to handle the moment and win when it counts.
It's like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. So wait, Caitlin Clark had Chrissy Sides, who never let her. Okay. Now she's got Stephanie White, who wants to do off ball, off ball, off ball. Oh, okay. And now Sadie Bardell's like, wait, oh, I could show Caitlin what she's been missing this whole entire. I can set up an offense like, oh, here comes recruitment year of 2028.
Meanwhile, Cheryl Reeve had no choice but to sit there and watch as Caitlin Clark essentially fired her on live television. The same coach who thought she could control the narrative around Clark's career just got publicly outplayed by the very star she tried to diminish. You could practically see the steam rising as it hit her. She'd been outmaneuvered by someone half her age and twice as composed. But Clark didn't stop at cutting out the toxicity. She built a monster. Just look at this roster: AJA Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Satu Sabally, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Gabby Williams, Jackie Young, and the list keeps going. This isn't just an all-star team, it's a super team. Built to dominate. Built to win. Built by a player who's done letting anyone else write her story.
Caitlin Clark actually has a complete roster to start her team. She's got Caitlin Clark at the 1, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Satu Sabally at the 3. She must have heard the chatter in the offseason of fans saying, let's get Satu Sabally. I'm just saying, she might have heard a thing or two. We got AB at the 4 and Asia Wilson at the 5. Starters for starters, this should be a victory. I know it's the all.
Caitlin Clark didn't just draft an all-star team. She made a statement. First order of business? Loyalty. She secured her Indiana Fever teammates right out of the gate, proving that in her world, loyalty is a two-way street. With the number 1 pick, she chose Aaliyah Boston, sending a clear message: I take care of the people who take care of me. Then, with her first reserve selection, she locked in Kelsey Mitchell, keeping the Fever's explosive backcourt intact for the All-Star stage. But this wasn't just sentiment, it was strategy. Clark built around winners. AJA Wilson brings 3 MVPs and a championship resume. Sabrina Ionescu delivers elite shooting and ice in her veins clutch DNA. Satu Sabally adds versatility, international toughness, and a two-way skill set. Every piece fits. Every player brings something unique. This isn't a highlight reel squad, it's a team built to win. Clark didn't just grab the biggest names. She built chemistry, balance, and fire. These aren't just individual stars. They are competitors who elevate one another. This roster isn't here to participate. It's here to dominate.
Yours was a lot of fun, and Caitlin Clark also wound up with all of the Fever members on her squad as well, meaning Aaliyah Boston, Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell will be a trio in Indianapolis for All-Star. So that's the way it went down. Here are the teams. You can see Caitlin Clark celebrating what she was able to accomplish here. That's her squad: Clark, Boston, Ionescu, Wilson, Sabally, Mitchell, Gabby Williams. I love Gabby Williams. What a player. Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, Jackie Young, Thornton, Kayla Thornton from the Valkyries. So Clark should have a very fast...
You know what really says it all? The fan reaction. The second that trade went down, Clark Nation erupted. Social media lit up with comments like, Caitlin just fired Reeve as All-Star coach. I'm here for it. And so glad Cheryl isn't coaching Caitlin Clark. Goodbye, Cheryl. The message was clear. Fans knew exactly what was happening. This wasn't just a roster move. This was Caitlin Clark seizing control of her own narrative. Meanwhile, Reeves' camp had to be scrambling, trying to make sense of how their veteran coach just got outmaneuvered by a second-year player. The same coach who spent months tossing passive-aggressive shade, downplaying Clark's accomplishments, and steering the conversation away from her, just got publicly and thoroughly outplayed. But this moment wasn't just about basketball. It was about power. Clark sent a clear, unmistakable message. She's done with the disrespect. Done with being used for clout by coaches who undermine her while benefiting from her spotlight. Done with the politics, the backhanded comments, and the envy that's shadowed her rise from college phenom to professional icon. This trade was a turning point. It wasn't about X's and O's. It was about taking the pen and writing her own story. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player anymore. She's a force, one who's no longer willing to let the old guard define her path. She's rewriting the rules, and the league is officially on notice.